That's us on. So who wants to do a recap of what happened last week when we played there? Mm-hmm.
Side of the mountains, and
my mushroom idea is gaining traction.
Yeah. We managed to get Muir and one of Nairn's Elite Four guards. I forget their name.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. I've got it in my notes, but I'll find it somewhere. Yeah, Muir managed to blow up the side of a mountain, basically, and avalanche a whole bunch of people, which was pretty cool. Rick was casting lightning down on them. Basically, we're just trying to get as quickly over this mountain as we can, whilst avoiding two armies.
Yeah, it's about the size of things.
And we spent the last half of it going, oh, if only there was some kind of magic fortress spell we could use to make a fort. And at the very last second, Rourke's like,
Yeah, we found that spell. I found the name of the Red Dragonborn. Her name was Kareth, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we found a big spell. They'll make a big castle.
Yes. And then what was your plan when we finished? Where did we leave things off? There.
We did have one. Oh,
you did have one.
The shops.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The shops. Other people are scouting the armies and stuff.
So Fraffin's going to cast Windwalk on a few of us. We're going to go to Orminth to gather some supplies, whilst everybody else still makes their way down the mountain and traps the forest. Izzy, you're talking, but we can't hear you. Might be something wrong with your mic.
You cut out last time.
Like mid-sentence.
I heard.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun. Yeah. I believe Gek might be making some traps up in the forest. I don't know. That's Naren that knows if that's the case or not.
That's part of the reason the trip was for, remember? Steal the sweets.
Oh, yes.
Feed the Gek.
We need to get sweets so we can feed Gek. And
Mainly
get him.
cake. He mainly wants cake.
Okay, cake. We'll get him some cake then. No, I can't hear you, Izzy.
Try go out and come back. Oh, excuse me. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
okay, don't know what that was. Wasn't there a plan for some people to start flattening out an area so we could put a fort down?
Yeah, we would need to flatten out an area.
Or just find one. That's what one of the scouts were doing, weren't they? Someone's going to go spy in the army, someone's going to look for a nice place to put a fort.
Mm-hmm.
The only soldiers that were going to scout out the armies and scout out the forest to see about traps.
Do we have anyone in the party that can move a lot of dirt, a lot of mass? So like flatten out the top of a mountain, basically?
Sounds like a druid thing to me.
Yeah, maybe. Rana, do you have something like that?
I'm just checking.
Hmm.
There's something about moving earth, but I'm sure I looked up last week though. I might be able to do something if there's not a spell as an earth elemental. 2 seconds.
Sure. Yeah.
We have an army, I'm sure we could cut down loads of trees.
It's either we go down the mountain and cast it down there at the bottom of the mountain, but then they'd have the high ground above us, or we try and find a place at the top of the mountain, but we need to be flat, so might not work out.
Also, this fort is not indestructible, and there are 2 legions. I'm not sure it'll hold out.
Yeah.
Risk quarter attack.
I've got mold dirt, but it's only a 5-foot cube.
That might not quite be enough.
That should just be called mud pie. Earth tremor.
I'm just having a read over the spell again, Patrick.
Oh, yeah. I should get that up as well.
I think the spell Move Earth is when you should be looking for Rena.
Thank you.
A 5th level, I think? Or is it 6th level?
Not seen it in my 5th, so let me get to the 6th. Yeah, Move Earth, here we are. Choose an area no larger than 40 feet on a side within range. I can reshape the dirt, sand, or clay in the area in any manner I choose for the duration, which is... I can't see.
Alright, nice. Do you think it'd be possible to, like, flatten out a mountaintop?
I can raise or lower the area's elevation, create or fill a trench, erect or flatten a wall, or form a pillar. But the extent of such changes can't exceed half the area's largest dimension.
It probably shouldn't be on the top of the mountain just in case we get laser beamed again. Probably skip down a little bit.
Yeah.
The spell can't manipulate natural stone or stone construction.
I'm worried that, like, the laser beam could happen anywhere, and the top of the mountain means that no one has high ground above us. Is my thinking.
And we could bomb people.
And we can drop
Telling
some.
you.
We can fortify the, like, outside of the mountain to be, like, icy and slippy and shit as well.
Yeah, true.
Just trying to see how long the duration of this is.
So the duration is 2 hours. Reading it, it's Move Earth, right? Is that the right one?
That's the one.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it lasts for 2 hours. And you choose a chunk of terrain 40 feet on a side. So the temple spell is 120 feet on a side, so you'd need basically 9 squares of Move Earth in order to flatten out that area. But it says at the end of every 10 minutes you spend concentrating on the Move Earth spell, you can choose a new area of terrain to affect. So if Raffin literally stood at the spot for an hour and a half, he could probably flatten it out. The area. The area.
That sounds perfect.
I just want to confirm, you're talking about changing our strategy from running away to fighting them.
No, to hiding in our castle.
Building
Yeah,
up
we fetch it.
For 2 hours.
big fortress, which keeps everyone where we can, inside the fortress, keep sending people to the new place.
Because
Can
we've
we-
got a purple tree, we've got an enlarged spell. What more do we need?
Hold on. We've got a portable tree. Was that your
You've got a
staff?
purple tree.
It's your staff.
Okay. I thought that wasn't wide enough for the.
So-
And
Enlarged
it's
so-
large enough.
So technically, yeah, it's not supposed to be wide enough, but it's kind of weird because like that staff is based off another existing magic item in D&D, or certainly that chunk is, and it's kind of unusual in that it gives you a number as a diameter rather than just saying it's a large tree or a medium tree or whatever. I'm just gonna say it's a large tree, which is big enough because it seems a bit crap that the tree that the mad staff makes isn't large. So I think it's big enough.
Little
I
one.
may regret that, but.
Can if it's going to work with the Daisy Superhighway, can I Daisy Superhighway and flatten the Earth at the same time?
So Move Earth is a 6th level spell. You've
Yeah.
only got 2 slots that can cast that.
Yep.
So Windwalk, that's a 6th level spell. Move Earth is a 6th level spell. Daisy Superhighway, that's a 6th level spell. So you're gonna have to sort of chop and change what you're gonna have to budget your spells based on what it is
You
you guys
don't
want to do
need
and what
to-
your plan is.
You would only need to cast Move Earth once, though. And then that
Yeah.
would be it.
It's just thought because I had to concentrate on it for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, as long as your concentration isn't interrupted. by
Oh, okay.
I don't know, anything like a big friggin' laser beam from an army, or being shot down with arrows.
The only
from
other
an
question I have then
Okay.
is it'll only last for 2 hours. So what happens to our fortifications after 2 hours? They just disappear.
Well, no, because once you've moved the earth stays there.
Yeah, it's confusing. So the duration of the spell is 2 hours, but the changes made by
okay.
the spell don't have a time limit on them. They're permanent. So you
Right,
would
okay.
be permanently altering the landscape of this island. But it's possible. The duration is how long the spell is active on you. It's slightly counterintuitive sometimes.
Oh, I see. Because I didn't see that in the description I've got here.
It does say the spell can't manipulate natural stone, which the mountain is quite a lot of. Certainly, the higher up on the mountain will become more and more stony. So you have to bear that in mind. You might not be able to fully flatten everything out. There'll be a certain amount of play in the terrain that is fine for the temple spell.
Okay.
So sorted.
So
Sounds like it, yeah.
I think Trathen, are you able to cast Windwalk? And that applies. It's not concentration, and then you can cast Move Earth whilst everyone's away gathering supplies.
Yeah, but if I cast those two, I can't cast Daisy Highway.
That's fine.
Fine.
Now, just checking, Naren, is this what you want to do? Because this is bunkering down and betting that this castle will withstand both armies. It's a bet. It's not a guarantee.
I have very little confidence in this plan. However, I don't have a better alternative. So I've just kind of come to the conclusion I can't complain. I don't think this is going to work, at all. But I don't have anything else to suggest. So let's do it and see how it goes.
Okay.
And this could be where the entire army dies, because if we do have to fight them, it just comes down to the D&D war fighting or army fighting.
See, is that the
mechanics,
plan
and
that
we're fucked?
We're going to fight them?
I thought we were just gonna hide.
No, we're going to try and hide, but
Yeah.
I don't think you can hide from 300 plus soldiers with a summoned fort and some ice. Or traps that get
I
committed.
think the odds are better than being in the open.
Do we have any invisibility spells, and do they work on objects?
I'm not sure it's gonna fly. We're flattening out a mountaintop. If the fort's invisible, there's still a flat mountain that wasn't there before.
And there'll be people inside.
And there'll be people inside. And also they have very powerful magic casters. So I'm very aware with Naren here that this is
For
got
me,
a lot
it's
but
this is gonna be like a temple that we use as a fortress. We can have people up on the high ground and everything. They don't have siege equipment with them because they're just expecting a army in the field.
Mhm.
Like, how much equipment are they going to actually have to be able to get in with us also making sure that this place is fortified?
That's true. However, I feel you don't need siege equipment when you outnumber your opponent 10-1.
yeah,
Slight
but
exaggeration, but still.
But if they can't get in because they don't have siege equipment, then we just teleport out slowly.
We do have
My
a
point
giant
is
laser
that
beam.
they could get in.
They do have a giant laser beam, and that is something we have to be concerned about. But that giant laser beam is here, whether we have a castle or whether we don't have a castle. So it's
It's either
That's
that or
true,
we're
but
just
we're not
running
here
and
whether we
waiting
have
to
a
get
castle or
pincered.
not.
The alternative is going down the mountain into the forest and actually being in close proximity with an army.
Could we? I feel like I know someone's going to go scout out that army anyway, but the laser beam part here are the issue. I think if they didn't have the laser beam, we're going to be fine. But they have the laser beam. So if we work out how they're using the laser beam and potentially disable said laser beam, I think
that's a good idea. Do we have any rogues? Anyone amongst?
They have a whole division of rangers, which is the next best thing.
because we're doing the spooky ghost flying about wind thing. So we could go have a see. I don't know. I'm sure we could figure out a way to kidnap somebody if they have a big mage with them, or maybe it's just a book, or is it a staff? If it's just a staff, we can go fly in, nick it, and fly out again. You know?
We're about to cast.
It will be coming from someone that can also cast war magic. It's an individual. It's not a staff or anything.
Yeah. So if I like your plan here. But like we're going to have to go in and take care of that individual some way, either get them away from here or take them out. I don't know, some other or just bind them so that they can't be in use.
They also cast multiple times, so it's probably there's probably multiple people in the army that can do that.
I was wondering if it was like loads of little mages all putting their laser beams together to make a big old laser beam or something like that. Anyway, it's worth a look. We should probably find out first. But I'm just saying we could kidnap them. I'm sure there is a way.
Instead of plotting, shall we just go and see what happens? Because either way, we need supplies for Dick and for the thing. And the scouting will tell us more about the army anyway.
Sounds good.
I think I have to stay here with Raffin, so that when he's done making the land flat, I can begin making the temple.
Okay, cool. We just get one of the.
It's like Minecraft tonight.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll just take one of the army people with us who can carry a lot, and
I sent a couple already. Oh yes, Zazen, I just tucked you into a cloud. By the way.
Naren, you got any flyers?
Like advertisement flyers or like?
Soldiers that have been in the air, that can fly, that are comfortable with being in the air.
I don't think so. Balax, do we have anyone like that? I'm not aware if we do.
You kind of. Alright, I don't think so, Commander. There are some in the kind of gestures sort of over the hill towards Carstores. He says there are some that were ex-riders, but none that came with me.
Well, the ex-riders were too cool, huh? I already assigned some troops to go anyway. I assigned one of the elites and a couple of Zazen's Legion, I believe.
Okay then.
Including Zazen.
He'll be fine.
Right, well, those Zorgar's going, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, I was gonna polymorph people into dinosaurs. That was the other thing.
That was the other thing. That's the backup plan.
Yeah.
We abandoned that plan because we established it wouldn't work.
No, but in the new plan where we have a building, you can have guard dinosaurs.
Okay. I feel like a simple archer would maybe work better.
I know, I put my bet on a dinosaur.
I still think so.
Anyway.
The ultimate scout, he's got a long neck.
So true.
Right now, before... sorry.
Go.
Before I make this temple, is there anything you want in the temple?
Nice armchair would be nice.
All
Maybe
right.
a cool Markex symbol on the wall.
He's trying to make a secure one, I think.
Okay.
Enough
There's
windows.
going to be an Altius symbol too, though.
Cover that over with the Markex symbol. And
That's
then
not happening.
Enough windows
That's not happening. No.
enough
No.
windows to shoot out of, but not enough that it's like we can get shot easily. Is there 2 floors?
Yeah?
No, 1 floor. Okay.
Because
No,
there is another spell that is a higher level that is specifically make a big friggin' fortress, and that specifically says you can have multiple levels. So it's just 1 level. It's like you basically make a little like abbey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no mezzanines?
No. Basically all just like one. You have some nice vaulted ceilings and everything, you know, but
Okay.
This is irrelevant and also too late, but I could have made a gas mask all along. I'm just reading this now.
Cool.
Whoops.
also, Rick, can you give me a religion check, please?
Oh, yes. Yes.
And this whole group shares one brain cell. And that one brain cell is like, I'm not reading any of my abilities.
Hey! That's
Okay. Sure. Okay. So you're as you're kind of preparing to, getting yourself psyched up to, erect this temple, you're feeling pretty in touch with Altius. You're like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna make a temple for you. It's gonna be nice. And, here's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing this and that. And there's gonna be, there's gonna be a big symbol, and maybe a little anvil, little forge. I like that sort of stuff. Symbol for you, forge for me.
Yep.
And you kind of you feel this sensation as if he's like, there's no words or exchange between you and all these, but you can feel the divine connection there, and you feel him initially being like, yeah, right on, okay, cool, a temple, yeah, sounds good, yeah, we'll put it like right there, and then you feel like the kind of the gaze from the heavens kind of like stop focusing on you and start focusing on all the soldiers around you, and then it kind of like circles back to you, and it feels a little less approving, which you probably caught on pretty quickly might have something to do with the fact that most of Naren's army are worshippers of Tiamat. So them hanging out in his temple is unlikely to do you any favors with the big man. In the same way that Zorgar had similar problems in the Fortress Temple, with Belarius not really being super cash money about all these Tiamat worshippers hanging out in his Temple of Justice.
Naren, I'm going to have a quick word. So,
What is it?
I'm not so sure the big man is too happy with the Tiamat following amongst your troops coming into this temple. So,
Okay.
I'm not sure if this will do anything to help, but I think when it is time for your troops to enter the temple, I think it'd be helpful if they could maybe kneel or thank Altius or something to show solidarity.
Or, plan B, you could do what good old Zorgar does and just fuck up now and fix it later. But God will forgive you if you do something
I'm
nice.
fixing now before the fuck up.
You saved him recently. That should get you enough of a favor to allow these guys in.
Naren, if your troops don't kneel at the gates, they will not be allowed in.
Okay, looks like we're going with plan B then. Did you kneel at the Tiamat shrine when you went?
No.
Exactly, so...
No one conjured up that. No, I'm not there. Never mind. You guys argue.
This is Balax's thing,
Am I-
so you take it up with him, but if he's not okay with it, we're going with plan B. We're going down the mountain.
I will.
It's Mir
I
here,
don't
that's-
agree with you forcing other people's religions onto my troops.
That's fair. I'll have a word with Belarius. Not Belarius, that's the god. Balax.
Should tell Balax's troops to suck it up.
No.
I've been around temples. I don't like being in them, but I still do it for the good of the party.
Okay, do you kneel for those gods?
No, but I don't.
Exactly.
You know what? if I'm
You
like-
enter of your own free
Nobody's
will,
asked
sure.
me to. Nobody's asked me to.
Naren.
I will do a nice little curtsy for Belarius? Altius. There we go.
Thank you, Muir. I appreciate that. I know it's difficult for you. Naren, there's a debt in this situation.
A debt.
Yes. Protection.
Protection of your own ass as well.
Well, yes. And theirs. This is what is. If you're gonna go into your enemy's house, you may as well thank him at the door. Okay?
So you're the army's enemy now.
No, I'm not there. No, but the gods don't get along. That's the point.
I'm afraid right now, in the here and now, that's not my issue.
All right, it's fine. I'll go speak to Balax.
Kneel at the door, imminent death. I feel like most of the soldiers will do the sensible thing if asked. Just say it's being polite. You don't say have to convert or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, take it up with Balax. It's his religion, his. Yeah.
I'll have a conversation with Balax about that when everyone's gone, Jake.
Sure. So otherwise, you guys are turning into wind and going where? And who is turning into wind and where are they going?
So I think it's everybody apart from Wrath and Rurik and Naren, is that right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think we're going to Ormonth to go to the bakery and leave money when we take things. Okay?
Okay.
Point my finger at everyone who's amassed here.
Hold on, can I would like to report back to Saros before we head off.
That's
if
cool.
Okay.
That's
It'll
fine.
just
Yeah, that's
take
fine.
2 minutes.
Alright, that's fine with me. And somebody is going to check on Landslide Army, and then somebody is going to go check on Laser Beam Army. And whoever's checking on Laser Beam Army, find out how they're doing the laser beam, or who's doing the laser beam, because we may have to kidnap them.
Okay.
I think whoever is scouting the laser beam should be someone who's prepared to also take out the laser beam in that scout.
Well, we'll see what happens. Who's doing laser beam one? That's the important one. Who's sneaky? Sarzan, do you want to go sneak a laser beam?
I'm not that sneaky. Like, there might be sneakier.
Do you want to go look at the laser beam? Or do you want to come go get sweets?
I don't really know what's going on, to be honest.
I wasn't here last week.
Yeah, the fair point.
Oh right, okay. So we're doing a supply run mainly to bakeries, mainly to get cake for moral support and Jack. Or there's an army who has a giant laser beam. Don't know how they have a giant laser beam or who's doing the laser beam. So we need to find out now. So it's laser beam or sweets. I know which one I'd rather pick, but it's up to you.
How many people are laser beaming?
It's the one, I think.
The initial idea was one, just because we want to see what they're up to.
It would be me
There was
going to
no-
look.
As a ghost.
As a cloud.
Ah, alright, as a cloud, alright.
It's just like checking you in. Have fun! Alright, okay, so stars and laser beam? Cool, right, okay, so Sergeant's doing the laser beam. I assume some random army dude's doing the other landslide people because they're not very important at the moment. And the rest of us are going shopping?
Yeah.
Like, slightly illegal, but not that immoral shopping,
Okay. And Sarth, you're going to report in first, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So well, I guess we'll deal with that first, and then we'll do the scouting. Sarth is nearby. Is the army still moving at this point, or have you guys kind of stopped while you're figuring out the plan?
I think we were supposed to be figuring out whether they were giving chase to us or not.
Sure.
So we were still moving until that. But I guess if we're flattening out Earth, then we've probably stopped.
Sure. Okay. So he's nearby. You can go find him. He kind of is sort of finishing a conversation with someone. He's like, well, just go and deal with it. He kind of turns. He says, "Everything all right?"
Yeah, we're going to find the map. Find the map. Where are we going? Ormonth.
In this days of it.
Well, they have like a spell that's gonna make us go.
Right. Okay.
Zoom.
What's in Ormonth?
A cake.
He looks at you and he says,
I'm really having a great time.
"Don't make me regret this.
That wasn't my
I gave you a
decision,
personal
oddly
recommendation."
enough. This has nothing to do with me. This is all them. However,
now's not really the time for cake, is it?
apparently one of the little guy wants cake in order to do a lot of
The dwarf?
traps or something. I know. No, I think his name is Gek.
Oh, right, okay.
But I came just to. I've been sensing a little bit of tension between them.
Between who?
The dwarf and Naren Markek.
Oh, I mean, tensions are high at the moment. I suppose what's the problem?
Well, Rurek is going to make a temple here that we can keep the troops in, and we can hide out for hopefully a couple days while shooting people through that portal that they've been doing.
Right. Guessing the problem's with the mainland god. Is that right?
Yes. He wasn't very comfortable taking in Naren's troops that worship Tiamat. Is that the right one?
Yeah.
Alright. So he asked them to, if they were going to come in and be protected by Ultius, they would kneel when they come in as a sign of respect. And Naren was very like, no. And then he was like, oh, actually, just go talk to this person and discuss it with them, but it's got nothing to do with me. And I don't really know how to feel about that.
Well, are you going to kneel?
I would kneel for a roof over my head.
That doesn't seem unreasonable, is it?
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
But I don't worship Tiamat, so.
He kind of he looks kind of taken aback by just the whole conversation you've just had with him, for everything. He's like.
I was wondering what your opinions on these two Markex brothers are now that we're here.
I'm still formulating them. They are. Well, we've not had much time to get to know them yet. I'm confident that my faith won't be misplaced, but I suppose the next few days will speak to the truth of that, if indeed there is one, and we'll take things from there.
Fair enough. I better get back. We're on time crunch to get cake. Do you want anything? I can bring you back something.
Can I? It's like, I'll be all right.
Are you sure? You
Yeah.
don't want any flame cakes? Or...
Sure. That. All right. How long will you be gone? And who's going?
All of us, apart from the druid, the dwarf, and Naren, are going. In that circle of people. And I think a couple soldiers are going to scout other armies as well. Seems more important. That's also happening. That seems a little bit more important than the cake run.
I'd be inclined to agree.
Yeah.
He says, "What was your measure of the spellcaster?" And he kind of gestures back down the hill. How concerned should we be?
Jake, what was my measure of the spellcaster? Like,
certainly.
Was it similar pace?
If it's just one
magic?
If it's just one person, they're a good chunk more capable than you are. If it was multiple, like they manifested like 3 different bits of war magic that army. If it's just one person, that's quite impressive because you can only do like the one, and it kind of tuckers you out. If there's 3 of them, then that's not so bad because it's like there's like 3 of you in there basically. Either way, they've got more magic than you guys have. Sarah's can maybe do like a little bit, but he's kind of out of practice with it, obviously. So
Okay.
kind of make of that what you will.
I'll kind of relay that. I'll say, look, if it's one person, we might be in trouble. If it's three, then probably a similar level to me, but also we're in trouble because they have three of them and we have one.
All right.
But they are trying to think of a way to deal with that, because that is the main issue regarding this temple that's getting built. Is they don't have siege equipment with them, but they do have the magic.
I imagine they'd be able to disintegrate it fairly easily.
Oh, maybe we do.
Might buy us a bit of time.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy Ormonth.
I will. And I'll saunter back to the group.
Sure. You see him kind of like stroking his chin after your conversation. He's got like a chin spike, got like a chin horn, like a little one. He's kind of like he looks like he's deep in thought. Yeah, you head back to Muir and everyone else in Wind Squad.
Wind Squad.
So you guys are just taking off, is that right?
I'm emptying. I'm finding a cart and dumping what's on the bag of holding onto it. So.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what's in there.
I don't think anything's important. Right?
Okay, so off the top of my head, a bunch of stuff falls out. Demonic spear falls out.
Yeah.
Potion with a fingernail in it falls out.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
Who
cool.
put a fingernail in this? That's pretty gross.
Trying to think, I don't know, are the boots in there? A
No,
bunch of money will fall out, presumably.
Oh no, I'm keeping the money in so we can pay for
Okay.
it. Right? Yeah.
Sure.
Everything but the money is coming out.
Okay. A lot of pocket lint comes out, big walls of the stuff. Just couple the little like moths. Get spat out. I don't know what else you guys have in there. Probably some other potions. You guys have forgotten about.
There's probably loads of bits and bobs we've cut off of things and then forgotten to
Yeah,
sell.
probably some rotten things. Got like an eyeball rolls out, like a mushy, desiccated eyeball.
Fairly sure we had dragon parts in
Yeah,
there.
there's some dragon scales. They'll come out.
Probably
Dragon
still above
teeth.
the dragon part.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, a bunch of stuff
Which
comes out.
dragon?
And yeah, obviously it feels the same way to you, but you got you got just the cash in there.
Yeah, I take some of the money, distribute to everyone who's going to Ormonth, and I tell if I find out that anybody robbed a bakery and didn't leave some money, I will beat you up. Okay? Understood? Everyone? Cool? Right?
Some of them are like, okay, and then they kind of see that you're okay, yeah.
Actually, I won't beat you up. I'll get Ward to beat you up.
The Ward is kind of standing by. He's taken to kind of following you around today. After your mix-up, he's like, he stands kind of like, he's got his arms crossed over his chest, but it's kind of like just like sort of above your head, so because of the height difference. And he kind of glares at everyone. He makes some like kind of like robotic grumbles, and they're like, oh, certainly, man. Yeah. What are we supposed to get from the bakeries?
Anything we need for food, bread, some nice snack, mainly bread. And,
bread. All right.
There's any, sensible things, some snacks for everybody. Get yourself something nice, for helping. Yeah.
All right, miss.
Whatever you think we need.
Okay.
Can I go?
Sorry, were you?
Oh no, I was gonna just ask the group. If you come across smiths, we could do with as many ingots of iron and different metals that you can grab.
What for?
So I can make a bunch of sharp stuff in that temple.
Okay.
All right.
But
are we making a stand?
Might be.
Don't know yet. Very possible.
Hope the best. Prepare for the worst.
Get some cake. Morale. Morale's important, okay?
They kind of all look at each other and like, all right.
Yeah, we all good to go?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Right. To Ormond, whoever knows the way, go first.
I know the way.
Oh, perfect.
Storm.
Follow them.
Sure. Okay. So you guys all
This way.
get cloudified. Zara's cloud probably looks a little different, probably like a little more silvery and wispy than other clouds. Everyone else just has like vanilla clouds. Sora's is just naturally like a little unusual, so it makes it kind of easier to follow. And most of you head off towards Ormonth. And Zarzan, you're scouting the army at the bottom of the hill, is that right?
Sure.
And then, Naren, you said you were assigning the leader of the Black Barks to go and check in on the 8th Legion, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So, Zarzan, you kind of, so you all pew into the air. Ormond heads off this way. Everyone else basically goes south west. And Zarzan, you kind of start heading down the hill. You can see this army in the distance at the bottom of the hill. Some of the men are clearing the rubble from the landslide earlier. Can you give me a... So it's like it's late at night right now. Well, it's not late at night. It's dark. It's like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. So you're able to kind of you'll be able to circle around them without really having much, chance of being detected or much worry about it. And you'll be able to gather some cursory information, or you can go down kind of closer and check things out again, or sort of in more detail. So to start off with, can you give me an intelligence check that you are proficient in? Because I don't know, it would be like a military check or something. There's no skill for it.
So that's
Ooh!
Okay.
2 nat 20s in a row.
Uh,
Damn.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to gather actually quite a lot of information about this army, just kind of from a cursory glance. So you can see that their banners mark them as the 5th Legion of Scale. And with a net 20, you're a military guy. You've been around the block a bit. You can understand. How the things work. So I'm just gonna. I'm going to send you, or in fact, can I? Can't. So I'm going to send you the warfare stat blocks for the units in this army. They probably won't mean all that much to you. They will mean more to someone like Narden. But it's when you report back, you'll be able to share them with people, like, in terms of like military lingo, you'll be able to convey the information you've gathered. So let me send you that. But yeah, you have a circle around. You kind of gather some information on them. You can see, you get a rough idea of their sizes. You think there's roughly somewhere around 150 to 200 soldiers in that army. They're all pretty well equipped. They look, the way they carry themselves, the way they are kind of regimented. They look as if they have a fair amount of experience. I've just sent you the wrong ones. Hang on. Sorry. Yeah, I sent you the wrong one. So let's delete that message. Send that message. So yeah, you can. Hang on.
Look at that Titan.
Oh yeah, I made another mistake when I translate them into Fenrir, but you can see that they are, the archers in that legion are about as well equipped, and probably about as skilled as the black barbs are. There's significantly more of them, and you can see, kind of as you're circling around, you can see this conversation taking place down below, between someone who, based on the way they are dressed and the way they carry themselves, look like they are, if not the captain of this legion, they are a high-up official, commanding officer, and they are speaking with a blue-scaled person wearing long robes. Well, not long robes, but they're wearing robes, cloth robes, and they have a staff in one hand, and a book is kind of like tied to their hip, and they appear to be in conversation. You're sort of out of earshot right now, but you can head down and listen in if you want.
Yeah.
But it would be like, you'd have to make a stealth check.
Yeah.
Oh, and another nat 20.
Go on.
Go.
Hey. Above average.
11.
Well, the roll one.
Okay. So you descend down. You kind of float down slowly, like a cloud, until you can start to hear what they are discussing. They they're not actually necessarily in conversation when you first spot them, but you can see that they're approaching, and as if they're, you kind of arrive as the conversation clearly just beginning. And you see the blue-scaled, blue-robed figure say, "Captain Vasad, I've received a reply from the Rock." And the other guy turns around. He has copper scales. He's dressed in, probably full plate armor, all glass. He's got a sword on his hip. He turns around. He says, and the blue-robed figure says, "Drakes have been dispatched. We're to pursue. No mercy for the soldiers if it comes to combat, but they want the ringleaders captured alive. We've to request surrender in exchange for the soldiers' lives." And the captain says, "Very well. How long until the rubble is cleared?" And the robed figure says, "We're ready to move forward now, Captain." And then sort of like glances up, and you see them kind of, you don't have eyes, but if you did have eyes, the wizard-looking type makes eye contact with you, and then extends her finger and snaps. So she's going to try and dispel the magic on you.
Oh dear.
So /R 2020 plus 5. So it's a 6th level spell that you've got on you. So she needs a 16 to dispel it on this roll.
Oh.
That is a 16 plus much things.
So yeah, this wizard looks up and clicks her fingers at you, Zarzan, and you feel the magic that is kind of binding your body into cloud form begin to shift. You feel all your organs start to recoalesce again, and then you begin to fall. Let's cut over. I guess actually let's cut back to the army, because I believe Rurak, you said you were going to go and talk to Balax, is that right?
Yeah.
Sure, okay. So yeah, Balax is around. You'll be able to find him fairly easily. He's just kind of like, sort of taking reports from people and barking orders to other people.
What was Balax's rank again?
He is a captain.
Okay. When it looks like he has a second, they'll be, Captain, I wish to have a word, if that's all right.
Certainly. What appears to be the trouble? Any of the new orders?
No trouble. No orders. There's more something that. Just walk with me. So, I'll point over to Traffin, and I'm guessing he's like shaping earth just now.
Probably.
And then
We'll check in a minute.
I'm Minecrafting.
You're Minecrafting. Cool. So I'll see the druid over there. He's clearing out some land, and I'm going to cast a spell on that land. We're going to create a temple. Now, this is something we think that we'll be able to take refuge in from the approaching armies.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think that's going to be very advantageous, and something to know that this will be a temple of Altius, me being an Altian priest. And I think in the interest of keeping the Stormlord happy and making our position as strong as possible, I think it'd be in the interest of everyone if yourself and your troops were to show a sign of respect to Altius as you enter the building. What do you say to that?
He kind of he sort of kind of looks over it. He says, "Very well. Given the situation, it seems expedient. So I'm sure I will speak to the men. I'm sure they will be able to bring themselves to do so. It is certainly a boon that your Lord is giving us. Because I don't want to make a habit out of this, but given the situation, I understand the need for it."
I appreciate that, Balex. I know this is not a temple of your patron, and I understand that would be a difficult thing for any followers of any other gods to take refuge in a place that is not their own. And I appreciate that you'll be making a tough decision to take refuge here.
As long as your Lord understands, this does not change our allegiances.
Yeah.
If he will have us, then we will gladly thank him for it.
I think that'll be enough. Just show some show something as you approach the door, as you approach the gate. Perhaps a kneel, perhaps a prayer. But then once you are inside, I can guarantee you the best protection I can provide. And I hope that's enough.
Very well. Yes, that is certainly a timely boon. I will spread that message to the men and ensure that it is obeyed.
Thank you. As you were.
He kind of sort of like bangs his chest once and then turns around and kind of, so you see him like kind of call some men over and kind of talk to them for a couple minutes, and then they go up and talk to other people and so on. It seems like there's a message spreading through the troops. You see, he doesn't look like too pleased. He's kind of like he's got like a bit of a grimace on his face as he's doing it, but certainly, you know, the way he spoke, it doesn't seem like he's going to have any trouble off him. Although he's not keen about it. So Hraffen, meanwhile, what are you up to?
I'm flattening Earth, I think.
Sure. Okay. So, can you give us a nature check?
Nature.
Yeah. For finding a place that's appropriate.
Ooh, that wasn't good.
Ooh.
Okay. So, with a 9. So So just based on the geography of where you guys are right now, you're sort of not quite at the summit of the mountain, but you're in the top like 3/4 certainly. And you're kind of passing through like a ridge, like a canyon kind of a thing. And you manage to find somewhere, Raffin, but it's a little ways away. You're a bit off the beaten path, where you find a spot that will be appropriate for the size that Rhett could kind of demonstrate, or kind of like probably like paced out for you, or something like that. Kind of based on your discussion.
Want it off the beaten track.
Probably, yeah. It's a bit sort of treacherous to get to. You have to kind of like. It's not really a problem for you because you're a druid, obviously, but you have to kind of like there's a bit where you have to like sort of free climb up a wall and stuff like that. But you find a nice kind of like bit on the ridge that the canyon kind of the path cuts through. That you're like, yeah, I think if I flatten this out, this will probably do quite nicely. It'll be difficult for the soldiers to get to, but will also be reasonably difficult for the other soldiers to get to. It's possibly not like kind of like the terrain's maybe not the best for like a pitched battle if it comes to that, for either side. But you find somewhere that you're going to be able to flatten out easily enough, you think. So then, what is your plan? Are you just casting the spell?
I'm going to cast a spell and just try and flatten the earth to sort of Rurak's dimensions. Not the dimensions of Rurak, the dimensions he would suggest.
Sure, okay.
Not a big Rurak-shaped hole in the mountain.
Sure, so you begin to chant and focus, you whisper the old words, and you kind of spread your mind out over the kind of terrain in front of you, and begin to envisage it adjusting itself, and it begins to the rock begins to crack, and earth begins to come through and sort of rise slowly into the kind of into your vision. And you're there for about like 5 or 10 minutes, kind of getting into the swing of things, and then you kind of start to realize that also just based on where you are right now compared to where the rest of the army is, you're reasonably exposed if something else comes along, and you're obviously having to concentrate on the spell, so you're not like, if you get in trouble, you might be in trouble, if that makes sense. So, Naren, Orman comes back after 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe, to report in. He you see this cloud kind of appear kind of near where you are, and then it takes a couple minutes, and then it slowly begins, it seems as if he figures it out, and it starts to coalesce back into a normal Dragonborn form. He says, Commander, I have completed my scouting.
How'd it go?
It is, as the others said, they are continuing around the backside of the mountain. I anticipate they will be into the forest before dawn. Depends on their progress. The landslide has clearly slowed them. They have some injured among them, but it's not made a great impact on their speed, just the number of them. They've got stretcher. They're equipped. It looks like. What else does he say? He says, "Sir, they have heavy infantry and medium archers, as well as some scouts, all in healthy numbers, certainly more than we have." Other than that, I didn't want to get too close, but they appear to be just continuing around the side of the mountain to await us at the other side.
Alright. Good job. Slightly concerned that we haven't heard from Zazen yet. His objective was closer.
Yes. I can go and investigate if you'd like. Belzeros is usually quick with these things.
Maybe go have a peek, but don't get too close. Just
Certainly.
look for his cloud, and if you don't see it, report back.
All right. So Zarzan, you are falling. Not that long. You're only falling like 20 feet or so. So it's like you have an impact with the ground that you kind of feel, and then you kind of sort of are sprawled on the ground and kind of presumably roll over, or just kind of get to your feet, and you can see there is a sword pointed towards your throat, belonging to this captain guy. The wizard is standing there, sort of staff in hand, hand on the book on her waist, and the captain says, "Don't move." "What is your name, soldier?" He kind of barks an order into the distance, and some other people come running. "I said your name." He kind of flicks his head up towards the mountain, and he says, "You work for the rebels?"
That probably depends what your opinion on it is.
He kind of cracks a smile. He says, "I'd wager you already know."
And I wager you already know.
Some other soldiers kind of come running in. He kind of keeps his sword. He says, "Restrain him," and then the two schmucks kind of come forward and they sort of like grab you, and they're going to start restraining you, unless there's anything you want to do about it.
I don't think there's anything I can do about it.
Sure, okay. The kind of they kind of tie your hands quite roughly, and then they say he's secure, Captain. They salute. The captain sheathes his sword. He says, "What's your business here?"
Just in the area.
He clocks you in the face. He says, "What is your business here?" Who is your commander?
I don't know. The hierarchy's a bit messed up at the minute.
Well, who do you report to?
The tippy top, I guess.
How old is Zarzan, by the way? Like, this guy looks like he's got like horns and stuff. He looks like middle aged. Like, is that like older than Zarzan?
Like, I would think he's like to a human mid to late 20s.
Sure, okay.
I don't know what that is dragon wise.
Probably about the same, really. Probably slightly lower, in like you might be like 22 or something, because they kind of mature a little bit faster. He says, "And who is at the tippy top?" And he kind of growls, like in this throat.
I think you could probably figure that one out.
he's gonna clock you again, so you're probably gonna have to start taking some damagios. He just like he's wearing this big like glass gauntleted glove. Just like strikes you across the face with it, like kind of like backhand. So you can take like 3 points of damage. You can feel probably it kind of draws some blood. It says your commander is Naren Markex. Is that correct?
Sure.
How valuable is your life to Commander Markex? And so you can like half draws the sword from the scabbard.
That's a tough one. Like, enough, I guess.
How did this guy respond? He just like clocks you again. So you take 6 damage. He says, I tire of your attitude. I have you at my mercy. You will tell me what I wish to know, or you will die. Do I make myself clear?
Crystal.
Where is your unit going?
I'm gonna be real honest. The person in charge of my brain doesn't really know that information. I don't know.
Sure, okay. So the plan as of last week, when you couldn't make it, was that you were going to go to the other side of the mountains into the woods and then try and transport to the new secret hideout. And then there's now this temple plan that seems to have kind of replaced that plan. That's probably as much as ours would actually know, given how loosey-goosey everything is.
Okay, do I know where that temple is?
It's going to be on the mountainside somewhere.
Like on the other side of the mountain?
Probably not really sure. You can see Raffin was looking for a place when you left. So probably not that far from where the army currently is.
Okay, so what was his question?
He asked where your unit was going.
Over the mountain.
And then?
It's not really, like us to think that far ahead, to be honest.
And you've done remarkably well so far.
Oh, that's that one.
He punches you again. Probably feeling a bit woozy now. He says he kind of like... He sort of looks at the soldier nearby and says, keep him somewhere secure. And then he starts getting dragged away. You can hear the captain talking to the wizard, saying, "This changes things." Well, I mean, certainly a little. Doesn't seem very forthcoming with information. Is there anything you can do about that? I'm not sure, Captain. And then you kind of get dragged out of earshot. Meanwhile, trip to Ormond's going swimmingly. You guys are just
Yeah.
racing through the air. The scale looks quite lovely at this height. You know, dark. Lovely weather, temperate. So it's gonna actually take you guys a bit of time to get into Ormond. Unfortunately, let me see how far away it is. Like, it's probably gonna take you like an hour and a half. 42 miles. Yeah, probably about an hour and a half. I suppose there's not really anything you can really do while you're a cloud, unless there's anything you're particularly trying to do as a cloud. Any of you guys?
Is it barrel roll as a cloud?
Sure, yeah. It doesn't really translate that well, because you're like this cloud of wispy, like, so it just kind of looks like you're a bit more like whooshed, and then you kind of, if that makes sense.
I know it was cool though.
Yeah, you know it's cool, yeah. You feel little, does Sure, okay. Naren's not here. He'll be back in a minute. So as you head off down southwest, you can see a bit of traffic on the road. A couple of wagons and things like that, caravans, kind of making their way up through the towards the pass and onto Carental. You see Ormond in the distance. So kind of still illuminated. It's only like, by this point it's like 7:30 at night. So you're probably gonna get there about 8:30, 9 o'clock. You suspect there will probably still be people around and up and things like that. And obviously you can't disguise yourselves anymore. I don't know if that changes your plan.
Like saunter about the place.
Yeah, so that's fine. Muir might have trouble, because you guys as an adventuring party, kind of the main characters, are reasonably well known by appearance and fame and fortune and name, as being who you are. So you might find some people in Ormond that would recognize you, just by looking at you. Certainly, you'd find a lot of people who'd be like, "I feel like I recognize that person from somewhere," and then later on, when it would click for them. So make of that what you will. Let's see how well Ormond manages to spot what's going on with Zarzan. I didn't mean to do that. 15. Okay. Yeah, so about 15 minutes go by, Naren, and then the cloud appears again. It's a little faster getting back out now. It's only like a minute and a half, and he kind of Ormond really reappears. And you can see he's got like a Robin Hood cap normally. It's a bit skew with, and he's overall a bit sort of flustered. He says, "Commander, I believe he's been. I can't see Belzeros's cloud anywhere. I saw, I think, a captain. It's the 5th Legion, by the way. I saw a captain interrogating someone. I didn't want to get too close, but I imagine it can only be Belzeros."
God damn it.
He kind of looks around. He's like for a minute, and he's like, "What should we do, Commander?"
Still look like they put up tents, or whether they were going to be on the move.
If they were on the move.
Put together a small squad and meet me back here.
All right, who do you want? Sorry, just Black Barbs? How many?
I should have one of my elite left, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Take them. Couple. I'd say maximum of 3 other people. Unfortunately, the rest of the party is preoccupied with cake and temple building.
I didn't realize temple construction had begun already. That was fast.
Yeah, how's temple construction again?
Probably not at this point, no. Raffin's still flattening.
Rurak, how busy are you?
I'm doing nothing right now.
Harafin, do you know how long you're gonna be?
How long would I have been going, Jake?
It's been about half an hour so far.
Another hour.
Maybe 45 minutes. You feel like you're about halfway there. You're making good progress. By this point, I'm assuming, the army will have kind of like moved up to where Raffin is flattening the ground. If you're staying on the move.
What's up, Aaron? What's happened?
Sounds like Zazin has been captured.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
What can we do about that?
Well, we either leave him to die, or we go get him.
Okay. I think we can try and go get him.
Right. Haraffin's halfway there though. This mission's gotta take more than 45 minutes. I got this.
Well,
Don't worry about it.
Jake, how fast can wings fly to the other army?
Oh, pretty fast. Like a couple of minutes.
I'd like to point out last time Wings approached that army, he got
Did get laser
shot
beam.
down.
He's feeling a bit rough right now, actually. Oh no, Wings didn't do that. That was Raffin.
That's right.
Wings is doing okay. Yeah,
Last
he's
time
fine.
a giant bird approached them, it
That's-
got shot down.
That's true.
Good.
We can, if with the element of surprise.
Right.
I could maybe straight bomb dive with wings from above, and pray that we can just grab Zarzan and go. But I don't
Yeah,
think it'll be that easy.
I was hoping for something a little bit stealthier.
I'm not exactly the master of stealth.
I know. That's why I said I got this.
You sure? Because I can. Well, I can be there to support, basically. I can be an escape. I can try and be an escape plan.
Okay. Sounds good. Wings as an escape would be a good plan.
Alright. I can fly with wings. Really high
outside of the clouds.
I'll be above
And
cloud line.
I'll call you on the walkie-talkie if we need you. Walkie? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. That's fine. I get you. You said that other person survived that fall, right? You reckon you'd survive that fall?
Oh, if you can survive it, I can survive it. Fucking, of course. Get
Wow.
there and survive it.
If you want a grand entrance.
I could survive it. I don't think I'd be well enough to fight.
Alright, good. Yeah. You got a little bit of sanity then. Or
Be an amazing story though.
maybe
First flat.
I could absolutely KO one person.
I'm certain Muir would love that. But,
Anyway, I'm gonna take. How many people could Wings carry at a stretch?
Jake, that's a good question.
It depends on the species involved. Like
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn
two
plus
Dragonborn. Max.
Two.
You fuckers are heavy, man.
Wings is a useless bird.
That's incorrect.
Like you could maybe do two. You could maybe do like two Dragonborn plus like a Lida or something. But like you certainly can't get any more than two Dragonborn on there.
Could we do two Dragonborn on a Rurak?
On a short stretch, probably.
That's all we need. Okay.
And he'd be mad.
I don't care.
Are you sure you want to go in?
Yes, it's fine. Who else is going to do it? It appears one of the highest up troops I've got was incompetent and got caught. The rest are preoccupied with cake, so who else is going to do this?
Crucial supplies. Also okay.
Alright,
Okay.
well, I can help you in whatever way I can.
Just an emergency exit is what we need. That may involve more than a bird pickup. That may involve some lightning or thunder or.
Alright.
It's just going to be a domino effect of everybody
prepare
just
for the
getting
worst.
captured, and whoever's left last is going to have to
Why are you
rescue
guys
everybody.
going now? You can wait.
Got nothing
More
better to do.
dramatic?
Why not? I'm bored. I'm gonna assemble a team of 4.
Sure. Okay. So I think Kareth has gone to Ormonth with everyone else. Vroth, the big black dragonborn, the guy with the axe, he's still around.
Is Voth at all stealthy?
No, he's pretty much the opposite of stealthy.
Shit. Can I look for the stealthiest people within the entire Waves of Justice forces?
Sure, it'll take you a bit of time, probably, to kind of appraise everyone.
I guess I assemble the leaders and tell them to put their best people forward ASAP.
Sure, okay. Can you give me a perception check as well, by the way?
I don't like the sounds of that.
They've
I
got
will.
a good gassy person too. Whee!
That's pretty good.
24. Okay.
Gas for miles.
You don't see any gas, but kind of as the army's kind of come to a standstill again, and now that you're sort of out of the being under attack, you've had a bit of time just to be more aware of your surroundings. You can tell that your force is a little thinner than it was this morning. You're down 25% of your soldiers, possibly to desertion,
25%.
possibly to landslide, possibly to something else. Yeah. You've got about 100 men left with you, and you had, by your count, 130 this morning.
Oh.
It's a lot of people to lose on a hike.
Fucking, I don't think I needed a 24 to see that I was missing 25% of the force. I guess I asked Balex to have a head count carried out and to find out if it was just due to desertion or whether people were lost in other means.
Where are you going, Commander?
To rescue Zazen.
What?
No, Zazen's been captured. I'm gonna go nip down and grab him quickly.
He sort of he kind of looks at if the other leaders are here, he looks at Saris and then back. He said, "You're going to nip down and grab him? What? What happened?"
Just quickly. He was a cloud, and apparently he became not a cloud for some reason, and he got.
Commander, there are some 200 soldiers down there. You're just going to waltz in and take him?
It's a small operation. No. I'm gonna sneak in and take him.
You don't think they'll have him under watch?
Of course they will, but that's fine.
Commander, I do not want to overstep my place, but I urge you to reconsider this course of action.
My main aim here is, we all know I'm not the stealthiest, but I am a commander. I will command the stealth team to retrieve him.
The people that are here and have been put forward for the stealth team sort of look at each other a bit warily. But they, none of them say anything. You can see kind of already by looking at it, the people that Orman has found, they look a lot more up to the task than anyone from the 8th Legion. There's one or two that would probably be fine, but you see the Black Dwarves are just the way they carry them. They're kitted out for it.
Okay. I guess it's a black bulb operation then.
You can see that they're also the most concerned about what's happened. You recognize like one or two of them are people that you've seen Zarzan hanging out with before. Balex is kind of like, well, with you down there and Lord Zorgar away to Ormonth, what orders are you leaving us with? Are we to report to the Druid?
You report to Sora.
Very well.
Seeing as she has the most experience in leading a large group, I leave it in your hands, Sora. But Harafin is second in command, I guess.
All right.
But obviously, take that with a grain of salt. If he tells you to go mushroom picking, you have better priorities. Just bear that in mind.
All right, sir. I will exercise judgment. How are you intending to find Lieutenant Belzeros?
Working out on the way, Balex. Working out on the way.
He kind of bristles. He says, "Very well, Commander." They collect some soldiers for you. Meanwhile, down in the camp, Zarzan, you're being kind of like manhandled. You can see that like everyone are like you're kind of your hands are bound. You're being like kind of dragged by you wear like leather armor, right? You're being kind of like dragged by the scruff of your neck, like by your collar, between two soldiers, like through the muck. And it's you're getting like so people like spill on you and stuff. It's nasty. And you can see that the whole force begins to kind of like shudder forward towards the mountainside. What are you doing? What are you doing, if anything, right now? Give us a perception check as well. Sure. So you can kind of, as the interrogation is going on, as this guy is like, a couple minutes ago, as he is like beating the snot out of you, you can kind of see sort of in the kind of like you look up at one point, and you can see there's a kind of cloud, kind of watching what is going on, and then the cloud sort of like, it turns, but you don't really see it turn, and it just starts speeding away back towards the hillside. So Zarzan may make of that what Zarzan will.
I've been abandoned.
But yeah, you start getting dragged through, alongside this troop of soldiers as they start moving forward. You can see kind of just before everyone sets off, this captain, who you heard referred to as Captain Vasad, kind of addresses the troops. He says, "Vak, we have captured a rebel." And they all kind of like look at you and jeer. He says, "He is to be unharmed. We will deliver him to his commander in exchange for their cooperation. Let us move out." And everyone starts moving off, and you get kind of dragged alongside. You can see, you're being dragged by these two soldiers. Like behind you, you can kind of, you're sort of aware of the presence of the captain and the wizard figure. This is the only wizard figure you've seen so far. You haven't seen another person that looks like a wizard, and you've not seen, heard any mention of any other wizard. It's just this one wizard. On the 26, you can also see that she has been referred to as Corassus, has been the name she has been referred to with. But yeah, you're just getting kind of like dragged through the muck up towards the hillside again. kind of fairly roughly. Naren, what is your plan?
That's a good question. Naren is going to take his small squad of 4, containing him, Balos, is that his name? The leader of the Black Bobs?
Orman.
Orman, thank you. Orman and 2 other Black Bobs who he put forward.
Sure.
Gonna try and find a vantage point to see the army from and use my spyglass to try and spot Salsa.
Okay.
Close enough that I would be able to see faces with a spyglass, but not close enough that... How far can a spyglass see?
I don't think you're close enough to see
It's meant
faces.
for the ocean.
Yeah. So you're on a hillside. How far away are these guys?
I'm talking about moving down to them as well.
Okay.
And
They're still
finding,
like they're like a
the
couple
middle
hours
point.
walk away. They're like 10 miles away or something. So you definitely can't make out faces at that kind of distance.
They're a couple hours walk away. Ugh.
Yeah.
Rurak, can I get a lift? Oh wait, there's 4 of us.
You can get a lift. One person can get a lift.
This is a pain. Can you take 2? Me and 1 other.
Wings can take 2. But I can't be there.
That's fine.
Why are you talking about me as if I'm not here?
Wings. I'm sorry.
I'm just a pet to you, aren't I?
No. You're an
I thought
ally.
that was clear.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say
He
that.
kind of looks Naren up and down. He says, "Shut up."
Wings.
I don't like him.
Naren, I understand that. That's fine.
He's rude.
Yeah, I agree. You don't have to like him, but you know.
Good, because I don't.
But we're here to help them, so we will. Naren, what's your plan?
Close enough to spy Zazam. Then
Alright.
the rest will come. But I need Wings to get as close enough without getting seen.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue.
The
here
only-
currently.
The only solution I have for you to not be seen is to get above the cloud line. But the problem is, once you're above the cloud line, you can't see underneath the cloud line.
That is an issue.
How astute of you.
Well, you know, I've been up there a few times. I've noticed. You know?
Wait, Jake, it took the army a few hours to move up. If it was a small squad of 4 moving at pace down the way, would it
You
take
probably get a little
less
faster,
time?
yeah.
Plus they're rangers.
Yeah, probably, yeah. You can probably, if there's only 4 of you and you're kind of like breaknecking it a bit, you can probably get there in like an hour.
That'll do. How long does your temple thing take, Rurak?
How long does my temple thing take? It takes an hour to cast.
Fuck.
That's not too
Okay.
bad. There's no
Just-
armies in for a few hours, so.
Yeah, I know, but there's got to be issues with us within a few hours, but it's fine. When I call over the rock, just send Haraffin and Wings, I guess.
Sorry, when you call on the rock,
Something inevitably goes wrong and I call for backup.
Paraffin,
Hello.
do you got any wild shapes left today?
I haven't used the wild shape today at all, have I?
That's good. That's good.
Yes, you have. Twice.
Twice.
Because you're an eagle. And then you got zapped out of the sky.
Oh,
And
it's
you're
the
an
same
eagle
day,
again.
of course, yeah. Yeah.
Although you've probably had a rest since then, so you haven't back.
Have we had a long rest since then?
You've had a short
Should I
rest. I'm pretty
finish
sure they
flattening the earth?
charged in a short rest.
Okay.
No, you still got like an
That's
hour.
fine.
Or half an hour.
We're just gonna bolt on ahead.
Mhm.
I'm gonna call over the rock at some point when something goes wrong, so just be ready for that.
Okay. I'll say to Paraffin that when I get the call, we're going to have to fly over and pick them up. As you, as an eagle, I'll ride on the back of wings.
I mean, if you're mid-temple construction, though, don't abandon that.
But if you need out fast, surely abandoning...
Paraffin will do.
Can Paraffin carry all 5 of them? All 6 of them?
4, 5. Send Wings as well. Wings,
I'm not an errand boy.
If Wings is truly an ally and not a pet, should be able to act individually.
Wings, you know Paraffin.
He's alright.
Yeah. When Paraffin turns into an eagle, are you okay to fly with him?
Very well.
And you'll pick up Naren's troops. There'll only be a few, 2 or 3.
Alright.
Alright. Okay.
We're
Trust
heading
you
off.
with that.
Kind of thanks the ground.
Until then, just do what you will here. Be around.
Kind of hops away and kind of like roots around in the dirt and stuff. Just bird things.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. Okay. So Darren, you're just heading down. Is that right?
Heading down with the barbs at speed while keeping an eye out for scouts.
Okay.
Like their scouts.
Sure. So yeah, it's going to take you about an hour. It's going to take about half an hour for Rath's thing to finish, and then take about an hour for Rack to start, get his temple up and running. So that will all kind of probably coincide fairly nicely with everyone else arriving in Ormonth. So let's kind of cut back there. So you guys kind of arrive in Ormonth in cloud form. You can see it's about like 9 o'clock at night, so there's still a bit of a bustle around the place. People are going to and fro. The taverns are all, certainly active. Can you all give us a perception check, please?
Who's boy my favorite?
Oh!
Ooh!
Nice.
Wide. I love this place.
I had so many nat 20s today.
I know, it's weird.
It's about
A mighty 3.
3. Okay. So Mira, you don't notice that. You're just like, oh, this place is cool again. Glad to be back here. This is a fun time. Soreth, you can notice pretty quickly that there are wanted posters up for Mira.
Oh, I'm gonna mist over to a wanted poster, and I'm gonna.
Do I see the wanted poster having a little dance?
Yeah, probably, yeah. If Soreth's over there doing stuff, you can see some of the people nearby are like, what's going on over there? That's weird, isn't it? You seen that? No, I haven't seen that. You seen that? No. They kind of like
I'm
sort
gonna
of like
go into
stagger over.
an alley that doesn't have any people in it. Just turn into me.
Just follow me. Let's go. The weather's weird these days, isn't it? Yeah. Well, weird.
How much am I wanted for?
How much did I say you stole? Probably quite a lot, like a few thousand gold.
Nice.
I mean, you can see there are wanted posters up for Naren and Zorgar as well.
Oh, how much?
More. Like they're it's like 10,000 gold a pop for those guys. And it says like by decree of the Scale Lord on it, you're just you're wanted specifically for burglary, and also treason, and espionage. Probably some other stuff. Well, that guy saw you.
Oh, I thought you thought it was a ghost.
Yeah, he did, but he still saw you.
True.
And Yeah, so about 5,000 gold for you, but cool 10 Gs for Naren and for Zurgar.
If we put them all together and then do a prison break, we could make a cool 20 grand on this, just saying.
I'm well up for that.
So are you all transforming back to normal in the alleyway that Sarth has gone to?
Yeah, you probably just real quick what we're doing, meet back here, kind of.
Sure.
If you get lost, meet back here, Don't go
You
off
want-
speaking to strangers.
Do you want me to take the bag of holding? Because I can just walk around.
Yeah, that's probably an idea. I gather the rest of us brought bags, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah, you do that.
One of the soldiers says, aren't you worried about being seen?
I'll be a spooky ghost again. I'll be fine. They wish they could catch me. Tempting fate there a little bit.
People fucking taken in one day.
It'll be fine. It'll be amazing. Right. Okay. Okay. So I guess we'll just...
you have contact with the people back, so we'll know if we need to leave or anything.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll call if there's an emergency.
Okay, that's fine.
It makes sense to do that.
I'm gonna go. What were we here for? Tavern.
Yeah, no, we're not here for the tavern, but speaking of tavern, we probably need drinks of some kind. Anything big and barrely, you can probably fit in there. Since you have the bag, you should probably go do that. Don't get drunk.
I'll get something really strong so I can get a smaller cask that will fit in the bag.
I like the way you think. Right, okay. Yeah. You go get preserves and stuff like that if you can. You go get bread. You can go get snacks. Make sure, ask everybody else what they want first, though. Don't just get snacks for yourself.
What do you want? I don't know. What do they have? I don't know where I'm going, man. I'll figure something out. Almonds? Almonds? Yeah, almonds. Something almondy. Okay, something. What about you? Almonds would be fun.
I'm heading out.
Okay.
I'm marching.
Alright. Yeah, go in twos if you feel more comfortable, but make sure you do both things. Oh yeah, I assume almost everybody here is a dragonborn, so...
Yes.
If it's open, don't have to break in. Just go and pay.
Yeah, so I just making a roll there just to see. Two of the guys had the presence of mind to change out of their uniforms. One of them didn't.
You come with me. We're gonna have to go stealthy.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, he'll follow you. And everyone else is gonna take off and go and try and gather stuff. So what is your guys' plan? Sorry, go on.
I forgot. Emma, what's your character called again?
My name is Soreth.
Sorry, that's it. Sorry, come back.
What?
Also, can you go get some blacksmithing stuff for Rick? Because probably gonna be too heavy for the rest of us.
Okay.
You'll appreciate it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I've got guns. I don't. But yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay, let's go.
I was a little boosted by that. I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm strong.
I'm carrying the heavy stuff.
Sure. Okay. So then you guys just...
I'll go blacksmith first because they're probably closed already, and the tavern's gonna stay open for ages. So
sure. So Zarath's going to the blacksmith. Where are you going first?
Probably just wherever's closed. Honestly, wherever. I'm just gonna have a peek in through all the windows, see where it looks empty, and and stocked. So.
Okay, give us a stealth check.
I'm painfully average at those. Come on. Ooh! I'll give myself +6, why not? 22.
22, okay, yeah. So you go and have a... you have a sneak around. It's dark. There are people around, but a lot of them are pretty sloshed, or are on their way. So you certainly don't get called out or anything. You're going to have a scout around. you kind of, doesn't take you, you go and have a look around for like 10 or 15 minutes. You find 2 bakeries that would be appropriate. One of them is called Vicari's, and the other one is called Dragon Tooth Sweets. And they are... One of them, the lights are off. One of them, there are a couple of candles on the go. It looks like someone's in there, but it looks like they're kind of closing stuff down and things like that. That's Dragon Tooth Sweets is the one that's been shut down as we speak. So what is your plan?
I was going to say I'll probably go to the other one anyway. Carry the important stuff first, then get sweets.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you head over there. You can
Crack
see...
in the window?
under
the door?
Or are you going in Winfor?
Yeah.
Okay, sure, yeah. Yeah, you can sneak in under the door, yeah. It's got a big front window, this place, though. Like a big display window. Full of baskets of stuff. So, people on the outside can't see in.
Okay.
There's a moth in here. Yeah, so you sneak under the door, as does the guy with you. He introduces himself as Serta.
Very nice to meet you, Serta.
Nice to meet you too, ma'am.
You remember your bag?
Yes.
Okay. How much does it look like we're about to buy?
This looks like some fancy bread. It's all plated. You can see the prices. It's got like one of those kind of classic, like sort of like chip shop, kind of menu price things. There's some, everything is in, like it's a couple of silver a loaf in here, whereas normally bread's pretty cheap.
What's my budget?
Like it's artisanal.
Here? Oh no.
They have some fairly standard loaves. They're still like a farmhouse. So they're still like on the upper end.
At White Rose.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh. I did rob that lady's house. I have the funds. It's fine. Okay, I'll get the most budget options. Just stuff the sack full of them. And...
Sure.
Do they have pie here?
They have pie here. Not on display.
Do they have pie in the back?
It seems like there's a half-eaten one, yeah. Like it looks like one that's not sold, and it's now a bit past it, so they've taken like chunks out of it. Staff pie.
Nah, I'll just. Oh, do they have cheesy twists? That's the real question.
Do they have cheesy twists? No.
Dragonborn cheesy twist? What's the point? Okay, well, I'll just grab all the budget. No, not the budget loaves, mid-tier loaves, and leave all the money.
Sure, okay. Yeah, so it comes to about like 30 gold.
It's okay.
And then you hear a door open somewhere in the bakery. Sareth, where are you up to?
I'm gonna march down to a blacksmith that's probably not open anymore, but we're gonna go and have a look.
There's a smith who's kind of like closing up shop. They're like. You can see there's like like you're walking down the streets of Armouth. You're like a head turner. People are like, for better or worse. And yeah, you find this little smith. It's not got it's got a sign, but it's just like a kind of like an icon sign. It doesn't really seem to have there's no like text on it or anything. And there's a guy there, a smith there, packing up, sort of wrapping up the hammers in the roll and stuff like that. And doesn't seem to notice you.
Good day, sir. Or madam, I don't know yet.
Hello.
Good day, blacksmith.
Good day. Or good evening, rather.
Good evening. I apologize, I see you packing up shop, but I was wondering if I could purchase perhaps some ingots from you on this fine day.
Well, you want stock?
Yeah.
I, I, I suppose. What is it you're looking for?
Just some iron to do the job.
Certainly. High carbon, low carbon?
Medium carbon.
Just, well, I'll be honest, I don't use it. I'm just here to get it. So whatever is good for durability and getting a good sharp edge.
Is it for weaponry?
Yeah, or I have a friend who's like trying to get into blacksmithing and.
Well, you shouldn't start on weaponry.
Yeah, but I want to get some like high quality iron for them.
The first thing any blacksmith should make is a good pair of tongs. He's like, you'd need low carbon steel. Here, something like this would be, much more appropriate.
Well, I don't know the full details of it, but I think they are fairly through like their learning journey. It's just
I see.
They can't afford much stock at the moment. I figured I'd pick some up.
All right. Yes, I can. I'm afraid I sort of only have enough to kind of see me through the week, so I can't spare all that much. I've got about 2 ingots that are, would probably I'll be able to manage without. I can give you them.
How much would that?
So he does. He kind of looks at, like, you can see that he's not really like he's not really accustomed to selling like stock like that. Like normally it seems like he sells finished pieces. He's like, well, 10 gold each.
Sure. Grab the bag of holding. Do you have any swords or anything?
I'm afraid not. I have I mostly deal in tools. Nails. I have loads of nails. Do you need any nails?
Nails could be good. I'll take some nails.
All right. How many and what length?
The longest you got.
Fence nails.
And yeah, and how many nails do you have?
I have these 10. Fence post nails. They were for an order, but they were never picked up. That was 3 weeks ago. So
How much?
I'm happy to. 20.
20
gold.
For fence post nails.
Well, I mean,
God.
it's craftsmanship.
I did an insight check to see if this guy's trying to swindle.
Sure, go for it. Yeah.
My gold, because he could tell I don't know anything about it, and kind of pretty flashy looking. That's a 15 minus 1.
So 14.
14.
Yeah, so you can he definitely you're no blacksmith, but you're like, I know nails don't cost that much. You can definitely see he looks as if he's paid attention to the way you carry yourself, the way you look, the way you've handled yourself in the conversation thus far. It looks like he's probably trying to maybe make a little extra profit, but probably just because you're obviously such a high class person, and you just exude this aura of kind of person that everyone would want to have gold touched by your hands. Is basically the impression you get from this guy.
Well,
Well, how about 15?
$15, but I want all the nails.
Well, these are all the fence post nails I have.
Do you have any other nails?
I have any other nails, yes, but talking about bunts of nails.
Oh, how about back up to 20 gold and I take all the nails?
Well, all my nails are worth substantially more than 20. I'd be
Well,
looking at
fine,
50.
then we're gonna. I think I'm fine with just the iron then.
How about 10 gold for the fence post nails? 1 gold a nail. That's you can't say better than that.
I'm really not sure. I feel like
I can't do any less than 8. 8, and I'm giving them away.
You gotta throw some more nails in. How about?
All right. What about 8 in these small craft nails? These are extremely fine work required for these. 5 of them.
Let me see them. Look at them.
They're nice nails. At the end of the day, it's all just nails.
They're, yeah, I'll give it to you. Pretty decent nails.
Well, thank you. I've been working on the nail craft for some time.
But at the end of the day, they are just nails.
Yes, well, there are nails that I've worked with my own bare hands.
Decorative nails.
Better nails you'll never find. Well, I mean, it's possible. Certainly, you won't find better nails in Orland.
For the lot.
10 for the 10 fence post nails and these fine crafts nails.
All the nails you have.
No, I'm sorry. I have.
It's all or nothing. I'm sorry.
Then he kind of takes the nails back. Well, then I'm sorry. We can't do anything. I can only do this deal.
But those nails can be useful.
Back with the army, Raph, when you're finishing the flattening out of the land, you feel, everything kind of finished taking shape, and there is this large patch of smoothed out dirt that you're confident will create a stable foundation for something. You feel the magic sort of, begin to fade. What is your plan?
I'm going to see if I can help out with the temple with Rurak.
Sure, okay.
I don't know, is it a spell he's doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can probably be around when you finish, Raph, and be like, this is a fine piece of land. Thank you very much.
No worries. Can I help with the building of the temple? Do you need anything?
I'm not sure about the building of the temple, but I know that maybe you could help make it stronger or fortify it with your plants, or even I wonder if you want to plant arbor now, and I can construct the temple around it.
Oh, that might be smart. Just looking, because I think we looked into this thing before with I can overgrow the plants, but it just makes it difficult terrain. I don't know if I can cover a temple.
I mean, we can always try. Yeah.
I can make it a druid grove.
That'd be cool. Yeah. We'll see what Altius has to say about it. Yeah, I guess if you want to maybe plant arbor, then maybe it's kind of like the center. It's dead in the center of the area, and I can kind of construct around it.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll plant arbor and then turn arbor into a tree, and then we'll can build around that. In the meantime, I'll look up my spells for plant growth and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So you're planting the staff in the ground and transforming it into its tree. Sure. So yeah, Raffin, places in this. I assume in the center of the patch of prepared land, plants the staff, and then it begins to kind of elongate and stretch. There's this sound of creaking timber as it sort of plants itself and grows into this large tree, some 100 feet tall. Basically, the same tree as you saw in the citadel. But now here, kind of takes a minute or two for it to extend to its full height and width, and it sort of stops growing and kind of the canopy kind of sways in the wind a bit, and it looks like everything is ready to go.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose just before I start, I'd like to make a prayer to Altius, and just ask that we are able to make this space so that all of our companions may find safety and refuge. Yeah, that'll be it.
Sure. Okay. You get a kind of a. Okay. Kind of a sort of a feeling off the end of it. It's sort of like he's kind of like interested to see what you're going to do with this. Kind of, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're just beginning the spell, is it right?
Yeah. I think I'll kind of walk around the area a bit, get an idea of where I want things to lay out, and yeah, start whatever the procedure is for the spell.
Sure. Okay. I mean, it's kind of. I mean, I don't know if there is a specific procedure. Really, it's kind of like, how do you envisage it looking when Rick casts it?
You mean the
like, what do you imagine the casting of the spell to look like in terms of like what Rick's doing?
Casting I feel like maybe it's like extruding earth out from the ground under it.
Sure.
So it probably still quite resemble the rock of the mountain itself. And there'd be a front entrance. I believe that front entrance goes onto like the ridge of the mountain. So if there's a mountain ridge, that's where the front entrance is facing. And there would be some. I think there'd probably be a larger window at the back where the main altar is, and then there'd be some windows that are can be opened and closed along the sides, and some maybe one or two at the front.
Okay.
And there'd be a smith or forge on one side, the main altar in the center, the tree in the center as well, that kind of all having like a nice just composition to it. There'd be a Mark X symbol, I think. We'll put a Mark X symbol on like the right door, and put an Altius symbol on the left door, I think.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone in the army kind of sort of gathers around for this, and Raffin, you certainly see this happen. Rick, he closes his eyes, he starts praying, and then the sky splits, and there's this bolt of lightning from the heavens that kind of arcs downwards, and sort of it doesn't hit the ground, it kind of hovers above, and it's like a sustained bolt, and then all these other tendrils of lightning come off it and start pulling rock out of the mountain and extruding slowly this kind of temple structure, like very slowly. It's going to take like an hour, and it's so like all the soldiers are like shielding their eyes from this lightning, and it's just there, and everything starts coming in and begins to take shape. Down on the hillside below, Zarzan, you know, everyone in the army, including you, notices this. There's that big peal of thunder that echoes out over the hills and the plains around, and you see this sustained lightning bolt further up on the mountain ridge, and then everyone, sort of the whole army that you're, with, sort of stops and kind of looks up, and you feel this kind of hand replace the two hands at the back of your collar, and then you get kind of like yanked sort of up to your feet, and kind of like pulled in close against the captain. He says, "What is that?" And he kind of points up towards the lightning.
Storm.
There's no storm I've seen before. What's going on?
You know as much as I do.
Kind of like tosses you roughly forward into the dirt, and you kind of land, and then the two that were carrying you before kind of pick you up. And then from behind you, Lozard says, that is no natural storm. Do the rebels not have a storm caller with them? And Vasad says, yes, I believe so. He kind of looks up, and then he sort of kind of barks this order. He says, double time! And then the whole army starts kind of like shifting forward faster. In Ormonth, meanwhile, Muir, you're in the bakery, and you hear this door, like, this creaky door open. Elsewhere in the building, feels like somewhere in the back, it sounds like. What are you doing?
I grab my pal and
He kind of like looks at you
and kind of scoodle into a corner as a cloud.
It takes a minute to transform back into a cloud.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, so I don't know what the layout of this thing is, so I assume there's a counter.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a classic baker's. There's like an L-shaped counter with like a glass display, with like breads and baskets and stuff like that, and then there's kind of baskets of bread and baked goods on the back walls, and then there's like sort of in the kind of the door is in the bottom right corner, the main door. In the back left corner, there is kind of a sort of swing door into the back of the bakery, where you've seen like ovens and things like that. And where the pie was, and then there was other doors in there. You're not sure where they you can hear footsteps in that back room.
I'm going to windows here, counters here. Can I like snoosh in the corner here? So just like duck.
Sure. Yeah, give us a stealth check.
And start turning back into a cloud. Come on, stealth check.
Is that a cat?
18.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
The void.
Oh.
Behold,
Hi.
the intern void.
It's on his paper bag.
Nice.
Internal void?
Good cat.
So with an 18 mirror, you and start to just hit the deck, collapse forward in front of the display cases. You can hear the swing door kind of creak open. You hear some kind of whistling as they go by, and then you hear some as you're kind of willing yourself back into your fingers start to wisp up into clouds. You can hear this other person whistling, kind of drums on the counter, and then sort of looks around and sees all the missing bread.
Money on the table, though.
And the money on the table. Do you leave a note or anything? You just leave the money on the table?
Yeah, probably. Money in full plus extra. Sorry, sad face.
You hear the crinkling of paper.
Probably really bad draconic as well.
And they kind of sort of whisper, money in lemons. Plus share. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. Start counting the money, gives you the coins. And at this point, you're like half cloud, and they're like, what? And then you hear kind of them like from behind the other side of the counter. They sort of like pace kind of background, and you hear like they lift like the the counter door, and then by this point, just as you're like just feet lift, and they kind of lift up the thing and kind of come around the corner, and you see this dragonborn, like jaunty chef hat, like looks at you and Zarta, who are mostly cloud, but just a couple of feet, and they just kind of like, what the? And then you kind of turn into cloud properly, and then what are you doing?
Scooting out of here through the window into the door.
He legs it in the opposite direction. He like slams the counter after him, and then you're just like sliding under the door again. Sure. So you kind of wisp out, and you can hear like a bunch of slamming and stuff like that from within the bakeries as you leave. Where is your next destination?
Do we have any more room, or did we fill our bags?
I mean, bread's pretty bulky. You got room, but it's like you got bags full of bread. If you put any more stuff in there, it might squish the bread. Not really sure how it works in a bag of holding.
I feel like I've got a good haul, because I'll just wait by the end of the way.
You got a healthy amount of bread. Like you kind of clean that place out of bread. All the bread that you felt was not at an extortionate price. It's now your bread.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So Sareth, you're talking to the blacksmith. He's like, look, this is months of nails. I can't give you them for that. I can give you the stock for the price we agreed, but I can't. I'm sorry.
Jake, as a member of Clan Luminar, the people that make all the...
Okay,
Jake here. As a member of Clan Luminar, would I know the kind of prices this stuff kind of goes?
Yeah, you'd probably certainly have a good handle on it. You're like, this guy is, he's highballing you here.
Kind of scammy.
I love that. Yeah.
Is it like that for the iron as well?
Iron is a bit more nebulous. Like it's kind of like you can pay kind of like extortionate amounts of money for iron if it's of a really high quality or produced in a certain way. Doesn't seem like an unreasonable price for it. You suspect he was maybe kind of testing the waters on that one to see what he could get away with.
Back in the sea. Okay. Listen. I haven't introduced myself properly yet. My name is Sarth Luminar.
You see his face kind of go a bit.
I appreciate you selling the iron to me. Like I know that getting rid of your stock can hamper your profits. So I understand that the amount you charged me was pretty reasonable, but I feel like you're trying to pull the scales over my eyes here, my man.
No, I would never do such a thing. But I mean, I didn't understand you were with Clan Luminar, of course. For an esteemed, noble person like yourself, I'm sure we can come to a finer arrangement. Let us say, perhaps 2 gold for the fence post nails, and if Clan Luminar are ever looking for a smith in Ormond, you will pass my name on.
Okay.
Excellent. Excellent.
I'll give you 5 gold, and you give me the other nails as well.
All right, that seems certainly more than fair.
Good try.
He kind of hands them over. He says, "It has been a pleasure."
It has. Yes. Thank you for your great stuff. I am leaving now.
All
Goodbye.
right. Goodbye. Good evening.
Good evening.
And he continues kind of packing down his smithy. You hear an audible sigh of relief as you kind of just as you're kind of leaving your train and go.
Terrify the man out of his nails. Nice.
Yeah, I got those nails though. We're gonna make a bomb out of those.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Or just put them into like the walls or something. I
Or
don't know.
carpentry. Nail bomb or carpentry, whichever one.
I thought we were in a war here. I'm gonna saunter to the tavern.
Sure.
Work on my nails. I feel pretty happy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're pretty good nails. You got a pretty good price on them in the end. Yeah. There's a number of taverns. The nearest one to you is called it's called the Red Dragon. It's fairly it's kind of like a fairly unassuming tavern, kind of fairly like classic, kind of vanilla ass tavern. There's some people outside kind of sipping on things, and they kind of like watch you go by.
Good evening.
Good evening. Anyways, so I was, you head in. There's a good
right up to the bar.
Good number of patrons in. You head up there, and the bartender is again. As soon as you enter, everyone kind of their heads turn to kind of check out this new patron. And you head up to the tavern, and the barkeep says, "Good evening. What can I get for you?"
Good evening. I need a cask.
A heavy night planned, eh?
It's not just for me. We're having a bit of a banquet.
Oh, of course.
I need something, but I need something strong and fairly compact so that
strong and compact. All right. Well, I've got a lovely whiskey that's just come in, straight from the capital. And he produces this iridescent glass keg, and you can see there is this liquid, this kind of rich brown liquid, sort of kind of sloshes around in it a little bit. He says, if you're, I mean, how strong are we talking about? Obviously, alchemical brews can be somewhat more potent. We have this. I can fetch you a pitcher of dragon tooth. Very high proof.
I would say it's going to be quite a large banquet, but obviously we don't have enough. I don't want everyone to get too drunk. People still need to be a little bit.
All right. Alchemical brews.
Together.
Not so much.
Around let's say this is for quite a large banquet. We're planning around 100 people.
Large indeed. All right. Well, you'll need more than one cask, I assume. Certainly you can't go wrong with this. It's he kind of rattles off a bunch of alcohol terms. It's dry cask aged.
Maybe something
lovely
that
peachy
would
bouquet.
be slightly impressive, but not with the intention of getting everyone on the floor.
Something to
just
sip and savor.
everyone gets one bit of it as a toast, something like that.
All right. How about what sort of palate are you catering for?
That's interesting. I don't. Emma doesn't know stuff about alcohol, but
I'm running by the seat of my pants here.
Something...
Fruity, earthy? Refined?
Let's go with fruity.
Fruity.
Go with fruity.
Perhaps a port.
Is pork
You know,
fruity?
yeah.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person.
A fruity port. Yes, that sounds good.
I'll check the cellars. I'll return the slave. And he heads away. Naren, you are at this point kind of approaching the end of your, you're getting close. You can see the army is moving up towards you, and you're like, if we get much closer than this, they're almost certainly going to see us. What is your plan?
Lay down on some kind of ridge and whack out the spyglass.
Sure, okay. So what are you looking for?
Zazen, or just a group of guards that would look like they were guarding something.
Group of guards that look as if they might be guarding something. Okay, give us a perception check.
I'm also telling the other three to keep their eyes peeled.
Sure, they're like, yeah, absolutely, sir. Yeah, give us a. You can do as perception or investigation, kind of your call.
$19.
19. Yeah, so you kind of scan around for a bit. You can see. Let me have a look at my notes here. You can see, certainly at this distance, you can see that this army is composed of medium infantry and heavy archers primarily. You reckon, in terms of warfare stats, the two units in this army are size D8 and size D10, but you're not entirely sure which is which. Just the place you are currently. So they a good chunk bigger than you guys. And after casting around for a minute, you can obviously see they have banners of the 5th Legion, and then after casting around for a bit, you can see kind of towards the middle of the army, like it's all marched in big pack formation, but you can see just sort of kind of through the crowd, you get 19. You can see kind of like bobbing in and out of view, this kind of this green dragonborn that's being manhandled by 2 soldiers, and kind of behind him, sort of on either flank, you can see a glass-plated copper dragonborn that's wearing this. He's got this tabard on. He looks as if he's kind of the way he's dressed compared to everyone else looks like he's in charge, or if he's not in charge, he's certainly a higher up in this army. And you can see next to him there is a wizard-looking figure. You can see that, contrary to what Tharzan had seen now, they are like this wizard is also wearing armor now that they're kind of on the move. Like they're wearing robes, but they got this big breastplate on over the top of it and stuff. They got a staff in one hand of it, and more than that you can't really see. But it certainly looks like that's where Zarzan is, unless they just happen to have some other green dragonborn that's like passed out.
You say right in the middle of everyone.
Right in the middle of everyone, yeah.
Convenient. I kind of point him out to the others.
Commander, what are we going to do? There's so many of them.
Start brainstorming. Anyone got any bright ideas?
We're not going to be able to. We need them to stop. Certainly, if we stand any chance, we need them to stop. While they're on the move, it's going to be they'll be packed so tightly together, it'll be impossible to get anywhere.
Anybody got any form of explosives?
They all kind of look at each other. Armin's like, "No explosives here, Commander."
Okay.
Like the place you guys are, you're kind of on a ridge, so the path that they will take will kind of take them slightly under you. And Norman says, when they walk past, we could drop on them from above. But that's, we'll be able to get SARS.
Right into the middle of an army.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we get out of that.
That's a good question.
Is he all right? He's not. Does he look as if he's still alive?
He looks alive. I'm not sure he's in the best of shape.
All right.
Is there any way we could start another landslide?
I'm not sure, Commander.
Earthquakey thing. Sorry.
I mean, if we did, wouldn't it get Sarsen in it as well?
Maybe, but it looks like he's with two very important people, so if a landslide happened, I imagine they'd make it out safely, and if Zazen was there with those two. Out of curiosity, Jake, does Scale have any kind of like traditional one-on-one duel systems of honor or any of that shite?
There is within clans. There's this thing called Skelos Tychon, which is the traditional kind of contest for clan leadership. That's what your dad died under. Although technically anyone can do it, like even just like normal nuclear scale families could just be like some teenager would be like, Dad, I challenge to Skelos Tychon. It doesn't obviously happen all that often.
But could now feasibly challenge the leader of this group.
I mean, you could start a tradition. You're not certainly aware of any like that. There's a kind of a lot of places have a kind of an honor duel thing. Like if you insult someone's honor and challenge them to a duel, they're kind of like obligated to accept. In a lot of places. Even if there's not specifically like a thing. So like
Scale, a backstabby place.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Have I been looking at? Can I look at this dude in armor who's next to Zazen?
Sure.
Scope him out for a minute.
Okay. What do you want to know?
Work out if his hit points are greater than mine.
They are.
Okay. I know.
Like, Naren's probably pretty confident that if he went down there and was like, yo, I challenge you, bro. 1v1 the dude would almost certainly accept. But the problem you might face is that if you win, the soldiers might not really accept that result.
But that could... damn it, why do I always... Could stall for time, though.
You don't have all that much time. They're getting
How
closer.
far away does it look like they are?
A couple minutes before your window to drop in on Zarzan vertically will kind of be passed. And then at that point, once they're behind you, it's going to be very difficult to get back.
Grabbing Zazen from above, or is there? Can I ask the Black Buck dudes if they have any like secret signals within their
Yeah.
division?
Well, we have some, yeah. What do you need?
Any Zazen to be prepared?
Alright, it'll be difficult to catch his eye.
Because all I've got in my head currently is I have some rope. We're above them. I'll dangle some rope down in the hopes that he can grab it and then I'll call Haraphan, and Haraphan can turn into an eagle and just whip him away.
Will his hands not be bound, sir?
Probably, but if your hands are bound, you can still.
It depends if they're bound in front or behind him. I mean, it's as good a plan as any.
I do have a grappling hook. I can grapple him.
Do you think that'll work, Commander?
How good is Naren at lassoing at this point? He's lassoed a wyvern and...
It's been a while since you lassoed anything.
Have enough time to practice?
Practicing lassoing? Like, there's definitely enough time to have had lasso practice, but that's maybe the sort of thing you might have had to have declared before you want to lasso someone.
But like, how long? If it's a few minutes to the army come up, can Naren have a few minutes of practice with the lasso?
But yeah, but they might notice some guy practicing lasso on the mountainside where they are trying to, chase some guy's army. I mean, you can do whatever you want, mate.
Selflessy.
There's no rocks to secretly practice lassoing.
There probably is rocks, but they might notice you.
Okay, I'm going to. How big of a drop does it seem? If I have a 50-foot rope.
It's only about 10 feet. Like, you're not that much above them, but you're like a little bit above them.
Okay. So if I was to.
The other problem you might find is that because they're right in the middle, by the time you're, like Zarzan lines up with you, there'll be quite a lot of people ahead of you who might at some point have turned and looked back, so they may notice you.
So it's not very high above, I see.
Yeah, like obviously the path
Well,
goes
if
up.
it's only if we're only 10 foot above, and the average Dragonborn height is what, 7 foot?
I mean, you're like 10 feet above like their head level, or maybe 5 feet.
Okay.
You're not that And obviously the path's kind of at this angle, so like at the furthest edge along, you're slightly higher. And, eventually at some point it equals out.
Can I call Haraphan on the rock?
Sure.
Haraphan, if you were to turn into the fastest little bird you could, how quickly could you reach my position?
How far away are you?
Good question. An hour's
I'm trying to
walk?
think of an hour's walk. I'm trying to think the fastest thing I could fly as. I looked them up recently, actually, but it's definitely a bird or an air elemental. One of them. Hold on.
I think an air elemental might get you noticed.
It'd have to be a small thing as well because you've used both your wild shapes.
Yeah. In fact, yes. Hold on. Let me just look up. Oh, it's on the other thing. Sorry. I'm trying to remember what the feet per second is, or whatever it is.
How long does the
Beyond
cloud
that.
thingy last? Was it 8 hours?
It lasts like ages, yeah, it's like 8 hours.
So, the dude can still turn into a cloud.
Who?
Or myth.
The Armin still can, yeah.
Ormin. Is his name like Orminth, or is it Ormin?
His name is Ormin. It's a similar thing.
Ormin, I
It's just
see.
like, so he's like, yeah, anytime it breaks, he's like, yeah, that's annoying.
If I turned into like a little eagle, I'd be like 60 feet. So I'm guessing like.
So that gets down to about half an hour.
Yeah. Okay. So half an hour.
So there's no way, feasibly, that Haraphan could reach us before the army does.
No. Not unless he teleported or something.
I can't tell. Can I teleport?
I don't think so.
You think so?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I've not seen it.
Your window is starting to close, Naren. You can see, like, the first soldiers are starting to get to the...
I'm making my lasso.
Okay.
I'm telling... oh, this is an awful plan. I'm telling the others to... I'm going to have a fair bit of rope behind me so that once I catch Zazen, we can all yank at the same time to get, hopefully, like a quick pull away. So no one will have time to grab his feet or anything.
Okay, we'll have to be sure we don't get him by the neck, sir.
I'll do what I can.
Oh my god.
Also, we need.
You can see they're both like they're all like a bit kind of.
You're all rangers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to need to run really fast.
All right, sir. We'll see what we can do. They do have archers.
Yeah, but we're above them, most of them. It'll take them time to go around and get up, and...
So I suppose so, yeah.
I'll call in advance and say, Burak, Harafin, we're gonna need air pickup very soon.
Is this on the gripstone?
Yeah, I was about to say, am I hearing this?
Probably.
Jake, I've used 2.
I'm sorry, what's going on over there?
Yeah. You have probably had time for a short rest since then.
But I get 3 anyway.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
Cool. So I could go Big Eagle. Just let me see if that's faster.
Just remember, you could possibly get shot out of the sky again.
See, I don't like that. It's 80 feet flying, so it would maybe 20 minutes, something like that.
Can I clap and get wings to land?
What? Yes.
Wings.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna need you.
The eagle's not left yet.
I know, but I've just been told.
All right.
On my stone.
Where are they?
Where are you, Naren?
You'll
where are you,
see
Naren?
the army chasing us. Just please be quick.
They're
Leave
right
now.
by the army. Go to that army. And
All right. Okay.
they're in front of them. Fly low. Don't get hit by that big lightning, by that big laser beam. Stay safe, my friend.
Okay. This is nonsense. I don't have to be armored. Stop. Takes up.
I cast enhance ability for Cat's Grace, I think it is.
Sure.
Yeah, has advantage on Dex checks.
Okay.
Darren, I just hope I
don't
misheard you. I
suppose
know
you
it's a
could give
rock,
me.
but
Yeah,
there's an army chasing you?
Just for luck, could you give me some inspiring speech through the rock that will possibly give me a +6 to any checks that I might have to make?
If I have to come break you out of a jail yet again, I won't be happy. Let that be your inspiring +6 for whatever reason.
Jake, does that transfer? Can I have a...
Let me read the feature.
I'll be really, really mad, so it better be good.
You gotta be able to see them.
Oh,
Damn it.
worth a go though. I appreciate the go.
Okay, let's just hope this goes well. I'm gonna tell the others, even if it's not a successful catch on Zazen, we have to run immediately.
Oh, all right, sir. Okay.
There's no time for a tug of war here. So
Alright.
once you hear or feel the rope tighten around Zazen, just pull. I'll give the
Alright.
command and we just yank.
Okay, sir. Then you see they're stressing the fuck
If he
out.
dies, it's fine. We just have to get him to the
It's
dwarf quickly. It'll be
They're
fine.
like, as soon as you say that, what the fuck?
Isn't there something called like the incident pit where just things get worse and worse and worse until you can't escape how bad things are? It just feels like that.
So you've got about 30 seconds before you're gonna have to make the throw, Aaron, if that's your plan. Can you give me a stealth check, actually?
If Raffin hasn't already gone, Rurak shouts, "Raffin, follow wings!"
Okay, okay.
11. Okay. So as you are approaching the point where the throw will need to be made for maximal effectiveness, you hear behind you a Dragonborn's voice say, "Hey, look!" And then the sound of like a sword being drawn, and then the whole army kind of in slow motion goes on alert. So what is Naren doing in that split second? In fact, it's 10 o'clock. That's a good place to stop.
No!
No! Jake, you can't do that!
I'm the dungeon master.
Fuck, I knew I should have used unlucky on that, but I was like, I'm gonna need all the unluckies possible for pulling up Zazen.
Yeah, so let's pick that up next week, I think.
I would have been at disadvantage as well, because you're in...
That's a good point.
So...
Oh, I'm surely I need to roll my second
anything.
die.
I mean, go for it, mate.
I want to.
I feel like we had all of our threads go in different directions this episode.
Oh, yeah.
And now, hopefully they cross and it's all going to be fine.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see you next week. So if you first stream, cheers for watching. We'll be back next week. See you then. Where's the button?